I Should Be Writing, Season 21, Episode 23.
But I should be writing. I should be working on my craft. I should be writing. I should be submitting my next
Hi there. Welcome to I Should Be Writing. This is the podcast for wannabe fiction writers, creative types, and people who just like the sound of my voice, I guess. My name is Mer Lafferty, and I've been doing this podcast for 20 years, and I've been a professional writer for about 11 years. So I try to give good advice, at least based on my experience, or if I can't, I bring other people in. Today is a little bit special because it is our holiday gift guide. I get a lot of mail from publicists and authors themselves wanting to be on the show. And they often send me hard copies of their books. So the ones that don't get on the show, I'm like, well, I've got all these books lying around. I should at least say something nice about the book in case you guys are interested. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the book, tell you a little bit about it, read the first sentence. We all know that first sentences are hard, and hopefully you'll learn something, or you'll get an idea for something to buy for someone you love, or yourself. The reason why I'm doing this so early is because I'm not podcasting next week, and then it's like Christmas shopping, Black Friday sale times. So, as for what I've been up to, I've been writing on the book that no one cares about, having a lot of fun with it. I'm throwing more and more undead in it as I want. Just, why not? I'm going to make this incredibly undead book as cozy as can be. That's my goal. And it is cozy. They just baked soul bread, which is not the same bread as Day of the Dead bread. This is bread made for ghosts that they can eat. So we'll get started. First off, I'm not on social media as much anymore, and I discovered that my dear friend Ursula, aka T. Kingfisher, pretty much updates her life on social media. And so half the time my husband will know more what's going on with her than I will, because even though we're in a couple of chat rooms together, she tells the internet and not like us. And I'm saying this because her book came out last week. New book from Ursula Vernon, aka T. Kingfisher. This is called Snake Eater. If you know Ursula, you know she's like wild animal facts and birds. So, of course, she's going to do one about a killer roadrunner. Now, I know any of you who like Ursula's stuff, you probably already bought it or already plan to. But I will give you the first sentence, which is quintessential T. Kingfisher. Selena picked her new home for no better reason than the dog laid down on the porch. Yep. So I know you're all going to go buy this. So, Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. This is my advanced reader's copy. Someone in chat already has the ebook of Snake Eater. If you are new to the podcast, we live stream this Thursdays, Eastern Time, 3 p.m. So you can come and hang out in the chat and watch the whole episode. Now, I don't usually talk to people who write outside of science fiction and fantasy genre. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's pretty much at my own choosing, but some people still send me books sometimes. So, we have The Macabre from Kosoko Jackson. Yeah, Kosoko Jackson. This is let's see. Turn over the jacket to reveal a version of the cover you can color in. Oh, it came with crafts. Look, can you see the crafts? Barely. I have never seen a horror book come with crafts. Or anything, really, but still. Now, I would like to know in the chat your opinions of whether the first sentence of the book is in the prologue or chapter 1. I don't know why we'd skip over the prologue, but so many people have strong opinions about prologues. I wonder if that bleeds into first sentence opinions. Regardless, as you guys argue, I'm going to read the first sentence of the prologue. The Guardian did it better. All right, then. So this is... I'll tell you a little bit about it, because I knew what Snake Eater was about, because I know Ursula, but... This is Kosoko Jackson's adult fantasy debut, a standalone novel blending art history, time, and globe-hopping adventure, dark horror and fantasy about 10 cursed paintings, and the lengths people will go to collect them, destroy them, or be destroyed. Man, I love a good collection MacGuffin story. Have we established whether there's a name for that? It's the you gotta go around and get all the things. I guess you could call it a Pokemon story, but that implies like childish things. But, you know, the Fred Saberhagen's Books of Swords, the mini-series from like 20 years ago called The Lost Room, which still lives in my head because something unspeakable happened in a little crappy motel room, and then everything in the room became charged with magic, and so the goal was to go around and find all the pieces in the room because, I don't know, magic. Fetch quest, collection quest, I guess so. Yes, but that's the macabre Kosoko Jackson. I think it's out now. This looks like a final copy. Regardless, this is not my first take. I had a mic problem, so I don't think I've said this yet. You will find links to these in the show notes, and it will lead you to a bookshop.org list, and that will get me a small commission at no cost to you, and it will not give money to billionaires that want to change the climate in Venice for their weddings. All right, next we have Wickedly Ever After by R. Lee Fryer. Also on shelves now. For almost 1,000 years, Wicked Witch Hector West and Good Witch Ida North have maintained the balance of good and evil, preserving a magic happily ever after that keeps the realm from falling apart. But even cardinal witches need a hobby. When Ida's latest harmless hex goes too far, Hector retaliates with a curse that immediately backfires, making her choose the wrong princess for the years happily ever after. I love fairy tale retellings, and I'm not good at that. It's like I'm too literal. Like if I took a story and tried to make my own version of it, I would try to see like a one for one. Like, you've got this character, what will that map onto? And I think the people who do it well are much more fluid and organic than that. Like checking off a box. First sentence. On a deserted battlefield, the scent of smoke and death steams in the mist trailing from the nearby fens. Ravens are hard at work on the corpses. I know, I did 2 sentences, but I had to. Anyway, that's Wickedly Ever After, R. Lee Fryer. That was me hitting my desk. All right, I talked to, let's see, the publicist was talking about this, like, right, a magical HBCU for conjurers. If you don't know what that means, it's historically black college university. This is, I believe, book 2. This is the newest one, Bones at the Crossroads. And of course, I didn't write down what book 1 was, but it is, LaDarrion Williams is the author, and it is magical school book, only the characters are black. Not only the characters are black. I mean, I'm sure there's lots different, just... Yes. I was trying to remember see if I can find the... Blood at the Root is the first one. So Blood at the Root, and then this is the second one. People says brings magical living to an HBCU in an unforgettable young adult adventure. People. I mean, if People's gonna review it, you know it's gotta be pretty impressive. Okay. Prologue. A lot of prologues, y'all. I think the people who hate prologues are losing. There's a leak in this old building and my soul has got to move. I like it. So every once in a while, I get this feeling. I don't know if I'm old or I'm just not on social media enough, or just there's too much stuff in the world. But like I'll hear about this wildly popular thing that I've never heard of before. And apparently a wildly popular thing that I've never heard of before was Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, which started out, I believe, as a webcomic, but is now a novel. So I have the arc for it. And they sent me a couple of other things, like a pen, and I think I got a journal? Not sure. So this starts with a quote I want to add. There are 3 ways to survive the apocalypse. I've forgotten some of them, but for one thing is for certain, if you're reading this, you will survive. From 3 Ways to Survive an Apocalypse. And the first sentence is, my old smartphone seemed to struggle to push up the page as I swiped at the web novel app. I scrolled up and down again and again, trying to refresh. I read the first chapter of this. It's pretty, it's very lit RPG, exciting. A lot of stuff happens right away. Now this is embarrassing because I can't remember if this is from a publicist or I bought it and then forgot. I do that with books. It's not a reflection of the book. Just letting you know. But I've got The Book of Lost Hours by Haley Gelfuso. Or Gelfuso. Gelfuso. Anyway, this is a Library Outside of Time, A Story for the Ages. Enter the time-space soaring library filled with books containing the memories of those who have passed. Accessed only by specially made watches once handed down from father to son, but now in government hands. Man, you gotta bring the government into it and they mess everything up. Sentence 1. In the city of Nuremberg in 1938, a man told his daughter a bedtime story. Okay, that'll lead you to read the second one. What was the bedtime story? That was The Book of Lost Hours by Haley Gelfuso. This is one I'm really looking forward to reading. This is An Amateur Witch's Guide to Murder by Kay Valentin. I mean, I can't think of anything not to like. It's fantasy with witches. It's murder with murder. It's a purple book. It's very pretty. A wannabe witch tries to break a curse on a clueless client in this laugh-out-loud debut for fans of queer romantic fantasy by T.J. Klune and Tamsin Muir. Wow. That's some impressive comps. I'll give you the first 2 sentences because the first one's very, very short. You a witch? Mateo Borrero pulls an earbud out, muting the furious screeching and synth blasting his ears to see who's leveled this super creative insult at him. He's greeted by the least surprising answer, a douche bro hanging out of a truck, halted at a red light. Douche bro, I like it. That was The Amateur Witch's Guide to Murder by Kay Valentin. Now, these are very pretty books. These are very gifty books right now that I'm bringing up. We have the Doomed to Die, An A to Z of Death in Tolkien by Tom Racine. Now, this looks like style of Edward Gorey, but it's not Edward Gorey's art. But it is told in the style of the Ghastly Crumb Tinies, if you have read that. And if you haven't, you really should. Ghastly Crumb Tinies is about 26 children who die in different ways. And it's A is for Adam, who... I can't remember what Adam... I remember Neville died of ennui. And somebody flew into bits. But anyway, we have A is for Arwen, Broken by Sorrows. So, as you can see, it does look a lot like Edward Gorey, but it is not. That is Doomed to Die, An A to Z of Death in Tolkien by Tom Racine. This looks like, I mean, it's a very nice book. It's definitely a giftable type thing for the Tolkien lover in your life. Or maybe the Ghastly Crumb Tinies lover. And while we're talking about giftable books, we have a collectible here. There's a new release of Murder on the Orient Express by, of course, Agatha Christie. It's shrink-wrapped with, oh, wow. So you know how mostly fantasies have been doing the very clever cut edges of designs and stuff? Actually, this one has writing on it, which is, "The murderer is with us on the train now." And it's very pretty. So, anyway. Yeah, this is... I'm not going to read the first sentence of Murder on the Orient Express for a couple of reasons. One, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the story. Two, it does not start out fast or exciting. It's not my favorite Christie, and I wonder why it's so often redone. It just starts so slowly. It's like he could have just gotten on the train, but no, he had to meet up with the owner of the train company and take his berth and blah, blah, blah. But it gets better once he's on the train. But this, again, it's a giftable. It's a red hardcover with gold writing, and it's shrink wrapped. That's another reason why I'm not going to read the first chapter or first sentence, because I can't get to it. But Murder on the Orient Express, there's a new one. If there's an Agatha Christie lover in your life, they will probably love this. And Lee in chat has informed me A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs. Exactly. And B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. C is for Claire, who wasted away. D is for Desmond, done in by a sleigh. I remember it all now. Wow. Yeah, my favorite was Titus, who flew into bits, not because of the words, but the drawing is just of a little boy holding a box and looking at it curiously. And that is one of those things of like, I suck at description. But that level of storytelling, of the sentence being in, like, the sentence being after whatever you see in the picture is just, it's amazing storytelling. Man, I wonder if I could do the whole 26 letters. I don't know. Neville died of ennui. I know that. I remember that. Is that all? Oh, of course not. No, there's two more. This is another, I believe this is a thriller. Yes, a gripping domestic thriller that transforms into a high-stakes caper involving a famed Geneva jewelry boutique. We have Joel Dicker, and the book is Wild Animal. So we got, of course, the fairy tale marriage and 2 beautiful children for a character. Her idyllic world is going to fall apart when her husband is keeping a dark secret. Obsess, of course. I mean, I think these have to be in every thriller. You have to start with a perfect world and then it falls apart because someone's got a dark secret. And people love it. But they don't talk about thriller readers like they talk about romance readers. It's not fair. So we're going to look at the first sentence here. Underpope wants to read more heist stories. The prologue is on the day of the robbery, and they had timed their entries to the jewelry store to coincide. Not terribly gripping, but it's definitely descriptive, and you know you're getting straight to the jewelry heist. They're not going to mess you around like talking about toast or something. And that is Wild Animal by Joel Dicker. What I'm actually curious about is why I just lost my train of thought. Oh, right. While Wild Animal doesn't seem to map onto the woman with the perfect life or her weirdly obsessive husband or the jewelry heist. So there's a mystery right there. Why is it called Wild Animal? Joel Dicker, I'm probably mispronouncing it because he is from Geneva. So this is translations. And it's out. It came out in August. And I'm going to remind you about a couple of people who have been dearly featured on the show. First, of course, would be Valerie Valdez, aka Leah Amador, Which You Would. This is just a super fun, it's like magic and reality shows and a little bit of spice. Oh, commercial break? Okay. I will pause here. I'm going to be reminding you of a couple of books that we've covered this year, including Which You Would by Valerie Valdez, aka Leah Amador. Leah Amador is the name you would search for if searching for this book, but you can also search for Which You Would and you can find it. Yeah, this one's just fun. It's reality shows and magic, and I love the building, the world building of magic that Valerie did. Not a lot of people have done, at least that I've read, the whole components thing. You know, they just you just do the magic, whereas in this world you need the components, and sometimes they're rare, sometimes they're expensive, and that puts a new level of the difficulties of magic. I have so many more to talk about, but I'm going to split them up into a couple of shows because I don't want to overwhelm you. Oh, I didn't do Valerie's first sentence. I'm sorry, Valerie. I'm just like, I've already read this one. I know all about it. I don't need to tell you guys. That doesn't make any sense, but you know. The customer's blue ombre hairspell sparked like fireworks as he leaned across the counter, ranting about how I was the worst spellcaster in Miami. I hid my nerves behind my best helpful employee smile. Yeah, start off with making us sympathetic of someone who works retail is a good hook. Like I said, I've got a bunch more, but I'm not going to overwhelm you guys. I'll probably be talking about others as the season goes on. But I'm going to end now for the regular feed and keep going for the live stream and those who support on Patreon. So thank you for listening to the show, and we'll get back to you shortly.
But I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.
Thank you for listening to I Should Be Writing. You can find me at mightymur@gmail.com or murverse.com. You can see the live stream at twitch.tv/mightymur. You can watch it for free, watch the whole thing, don't have to pay anything. If you want to listen to everything from the live stream or watch the live stream later, then you need to go to patreon.com/mightymur and join the Fabulists, where we talk about a lot of writing stuff in the Discord. Also, crafting, food, music. We've got a Darlings Graveyard, where if you have to cut something you really like, you just go put it in there. You got a lot of fun places to go. It's a really great community. I'm very lucky that they have built themselves. But yeah, Americans, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Be safe. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. And you should be writing. Thank you for listening to I Should Be Writing, the longest running writing podcast in existence. This episode was made possible by the Fabulists, who support the podcast via Patreon or Substack. Join the Fabulists at patreon.com/mightymur or mightymur.substack.com. Theme music provided by John Anealio. Art provided by Numbers Ninja. And podcast hosting provided by Libsyn. This episode is released under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 license. You can find all of my books and podcasts at merverse.com.
I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft, but I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who. I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.